Our protests in the streets, and indeed the many lobbying campaigns to persuade TDs, were largely ignored. Our political establishment only relinquished what was stolen when they wanted to embrace a separate crisis in order to maximize their unrelenting progress. In considering the ignorance and immorality of those elected, I would like to suggest a more focused approach in future. Should another crisis compel our elected representatives to attack our rights and freedoms again, we must bring dissent to their doors, rob them of their peace and sanctuary as they will rob us. The fear, anger, anxiety, and misery they impose on our families must be applied to them and those they love. Their lives must be made impossibly difficult, as they will make our lives impossibly difficult. If they create another two-tier society in future, they must reside in the tier below. For 2 years our politicians ignored our cries and our suffering when brought to them through civil discourse. I believe they will only listen if we become an imposition on their lives in much the same way they will seek to ruin our own. And be under no illusion, Varadkar, Martin, Ryan, Donnelly, Harris, MacDonald, all of them have moved past the pandemic as if they did nothing wrong. They are utterly detached from the suffering caused and the accountability they deserve. I would suggest that if you decide to pursue freedom and justice, that your conscience be clear of any pity for these people, because the truth is, they didn't express pity for us, and the fines and prison sentences handed down are proof of it. At this stage, I wish to express my gratitude to those who have protested over the last 2 years. Whether you did so by defying the laws, lobbying TDs, or making content for social media. Whether you marched the streets, confronted politicians face to face, or stood outside their homes waiting for answers, your courage and persistence should be recognized. In closing, I wish to say the following. There is clear value in civil discourse, and there is a time and place to utilize this avenue of approach in order to express a desire for change. And while such an approach is preferable, the evidence would suggest that today's leaders will simply ignore. But next time, if our Taoiseach adopts a policy of severe restrictions to deal with a mediocre threat instead of pursuing a response to public trust and freedom, we must target those involved. And while a protest of hundreds, if not thousands, is wonderful to see in front of Dáil Éireann, mark my words, they will be compelled to listen if such a gathering takes place on their doorsteps.